Well, Steve, I know you're looking forward to the women's 3000m steeplechase. The world record holder goes in this one. She was actually beaten in the Kenyan Championships, which sort of underlines the calibre they've got back in Kenya. There's Krauser, the European champion, who is one of the very few non-Rift Valley.
So on the far side of this fabulous old stadium, women's steeplechase. And there you see Beatrice Chepkoech. Well, Tim was mentioning that she was beaten in the Kenyan trials, but she was beaten by the former world champion, of course. He was also in the race here, Haiven Kieng, who herself was a world champion back in 2015. There's Krauser. And we saw, of course, Krauser, one of the best European steeplechasers around, and on her day can certainly give the Kenyan women a run for the money. Here is Kieng. So she won the championships, beat Koech. It wasn't fast, of course. They're at altitude in Nairobi, 8:25 thereabouts, I think it was. But it was Chepkoech's only outdoor race, and Chepkoech had such a good indoor season where she ran 8:31 indoors, flat, of course. She set a world record on the roads at 14:43 for 5,000 meters in Monaco back in February. And then the first time we saw her, or have seen her this summer, was at those Olympic trials in Nairobi. So is Chepkoech improving and ready to go at the distance at which she dominated for so long. The world record holder on the outside, Kieng and Krauser, looking to give us something to think about. And it has to be said that Kieng's been in very, very good form already this year. And an event where there's lots of women running quick. They've asked for a pace which will aim at around 9:10 or thereabouts this year. So pacemaking, there's only one pacemaker, Fancy Chirono, will have to get out there and do a very good job, best job that she can, keep going for as long as she can. Around 3:3 the first kilometre they're looking for, and Chepkoech has already slotted in well behind her, and Kieng just watching, see if they've gone off a little bit hard through his first 200-300 metres. But there are two big names, second and third. In fact, Chepkoech moving out wide to get a look at the barrier there behind Chirono.
This is a bit friends.
Yeah, fast pace being set here a little quicker than had been asked at this point, and so only Chepkoech following Chirono and Kieng kind of in no man's land there. She'll be hoping that Chepkoech can't hold this sort of pace, particularly when Chirono drops out, and that she's close enough to latch onto the back of Chepkoech. Chepkoech has done this on occasion, Tim, when she was at her best. She'd get out there and hang out there. But I think more recently she still prefers to go out hard, but she hasn't always been able to keep that pace going. Every barrier moves out to get a sight, and even that takes up a little bit of energy. And Kieng is closing that gap in I think in another 150 meters or so, could well be right on the back of Chepkoech here.
Well, they can't negotiate the water jump at quite the same speed as the men. They all take a good soaking, don't they, as they go through, even the best at this discipline. But it has settled down a little bit. The first kilometre split will be significant. They certainly attacked it for the first 400 metres, first lap or so, Steve. As you said, it has settled down, even though the gaps are yawning.
2:57, Tim. They were asked for 3:03, which is why only the two of them have gone out at this pace. I think Chepkoech asked for that. I think she probably had a word with Chirono and said 3:3. No, that's too slow. Go hard.
By the way, has already had an attempt, and he failed his first effort. He vaulted just before Kendricks.
3:04 for the second kilometre. Said it has slowed a bit. Still pretty quick. It's still quick for Krauser as well, because she's getting closer all the time. Although that's still a 15-metre lead from Kieng, and Chepkoech looks very tired. He'll come round with a couple of laps to go. Kieng, I think, really just needs to... Yeah, I keep saying it, Tim. He'll be attempting it, that's for sure. When you go to a stadium with everyone wearing your name on the back of a Sweden shirt, then yes. Well, Kieng has set her stall out perfectly well here, and the real battle for second place on the last lap, I'm sure. The bell for Kieng, she's got this one, 7:54 thereabouts at the bell, so she could try and lift this. Would be a super last lap to get under 9 minutes, but she's not that far away, so if she can finish really strong, he's certainly going to be close to that mark. So Kieng, the former world champion, the Olympic silver medalist from 2016, looks as though she's heading to Tokyo as one of the medal favourites and has taken the mantle of #1 Kenyan away from her famous teammate, the world record holder, who's languishing behind, a good 20-25 metres behind now as she comes under pressure from Krause. But Kieng, with less than 200 metres to go, has run a very well-judged race here. She's going to be outside 9 minutes, but it's still going to be a very quick time for Kieng. And look at Krause, attacks that water jump much better than Chet Koech, comes off it hard as well. Those two are going to have a right royal battle for second place. Kieng takes the last barrier and now can just get her head down and head towards the line as Krause and Chet Koech battle for that second spot. Kieng takes the win, 9:04. Krause storming down the home straight. It's going to be just inside 9 minutes 10 for Krause. Superb run for her. Won't be a personal best, of course, but nonetheless an excellent performance from the German. A big season's best as the others come in with some fairly quick times behind. But Kieng, well judged, just sat off that first kilometre a little bit, didn't she? Let Chet Koech go out, take it out. She knew she was going too hard and then settled in the middle of the race. And with 3 to go, took over and was strong enough. And Chet Koech, you have to say, pretty much fell apart in the last 1,000 metres. She's got to learn that, you know, if you're not in the shape, just because you ran 8:44 a few years back, you can't keep attacking races at 2:57 first kilometre.
No, but I suppose what she could say, Steve, is she can look at that and say intrinsically it wasn't the best way to run to third place there and the time she's ended up with. You know, there is certainly more in the tank for Chet Koech. Kieng, well, she's a class apart at the moment, isn't she? I mean, you think she's running against nobody here but the clock. There is certainly a lot more to come for her as well. Quite an exciting prospect. Not sure if that world record will ever be within her compass, 8:44, but good win from her, very comfortable win, and fabulous running from Krause, who sets a huge season's best, of course, in second place there. And she knows it's good, the German there, punching the air with that second place and defeating the world record holder.
Yeah, 9:7, her previous season's best, so that ranks right up there as one of her best times ever for Kieng. And you know, when you consider she was world champion back in 2015, when this was still, I remember it was a bit of a developing event, and everyone thought, okay, you know, she might not be around in 6-7 years' time, it'll move on. But here she is, you know, Olympic silver medalist, followed in 2016. She is still a contender now, or I think more so than she has been over the last 2-3 years. Looks in really good shape. Well done to her. Meeting record 9 minutes 4.34. Krause, a big season's best for her. Looks in great shape as well. Chet Koech not getting her tactics right again today, and a few personal bests behind those three.